CM Punk is taking time off. Plus, a WWE Champion is appearing on NXT tonight. And we had a big return and a name change for next week's Raw. Spoilers ahoy, it's all in the Cultaholic Wrestling news right now. Spoilers ahoy! Not yet, though. In a bit.
That's at the end. Sorry for touching your hand.
You can touch my hand all you want.
Oh my God.
It's fine.
I am hardly containing my excitement for speaking about CM Punk, Tom, from last night's Raw.
Well, I am hardly containing my excitement for the sadness that CM Punk will not be on telly for a little while. So Punk opened last night's 2-hour Raw, which was a breeze.
It was. It flew by. I've watched it all before coming into here this morning.
Look at you,
and it's 9 a.m. It's 9 a.m.
Look at that.
Bloody hell.
What a trooper. Punk opened last night's Raw bruised and or battered from the Hell in a Cell match on Saturday and said that he didn't know what his future held in store for him. He revealed he was going home to see his wife for the first time in 5 weeks and signed off saying, "I'd like to say I'll see you soon, but I just don't know. Thank you."
Sold the effects of the match very well indeed. He was like, I knew I didn't have one more Hell in a Cell left at me, and that's very much true. I don't feel like a winner. I feel absolutely bloody sore. He then goes on to speak about how 3 groups of people he wants to thank, his peers, the people he works with, but in front of the camera and behind the camera, his fans, but also his detractors, whose hate makes him a lot of cash money there, Tom.
It certainly does.
What a bastard.
He does make a lot of money from people that don't like him. As Punk left after saying farewell, we had Seth Rollins arrive, with the two men having a stare down before Rollins headed towards the ring.
Yeah, he sort of barged him as well out the way. Well, obviously, we're looking back to WrestleMania season this year in 2024. The rumored one of the rumored main events before poo hit the fan, so to speak, was going to be CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. So we could have already settled up for next year's WrestleMania already.
I feel like that's where we are heading towards, and I'm down for that. A Rollins and Punk match doesn't need a title involved in it. It's just a grudge match that you can pick up the story that they told heading into this year's Mania and just carry it on.
Yeah, and Seth Rollins made note straight away that he just hopes CM Punk recovers, because when he does, he'll come back to wrestling, and that means Seth Rollins can kick his ass and retire him for good.
That's exactly what he said. Yeah, that'll be good times. That'll be good times. So Punk away for a little while, which is weird because obviously CM Punk's had a very up and down 2024. He wasn't as physically active as he was hoping to be. Got injured at the Rumble and has wrestled 3 times outside of that Rumble match. On television, at least. He's had a couple of live event matches and stuff like that. And now taking some time away. And I think maybe this is probably the strongest use for CM Punk at this point in his career, as somebody that you just use sparingly.
Yeah. But when he is used sparingly, he gives it his all, because that performance inside the cell, the moves he was taking, that superplex off the ropes through the table at the ringside area is the move that sticks in my mind in particular. He's 45 years old. Bring him in every few months, gives it his all, goes away again when the story needs him.
There you go. That's exactly what you needed to be.
It writes itself, Tom.
It writes itself. Last night we saw what we thought was going to be a lovely moment between Jey Uso and Bron Breakker. Once again, Bron Breakker with that lovely smile last week became a frown on my face, Ross.
I couldn't believe my eyes. The whistle wasn't this all good and proper last week on Raw. Bron Breakker's like, I'm not here to spear you, Jay. I'm here to congratulate you. Meh. Then the dogs barking where Ontario, wherever they were last week for Raw. Then this week, Jey Uso defeats Xavier Woods in a very short match compared to what I was expecting for the Intercontinental title. Xavier Woods was on top. Then it felt like a little punch exchange later. We had a super kick and a splash, and that was it for Jey Uso. But then after the bell, Bron Breakker appears and he spears everybody.
Yeah, everyone gets a kick in from Bron Breakker, and it looks as if, like you said, our Wazzles were well and truly whistled by Bron Breakker. He's still a baddie, and he looks like we're getting a showdown with him and Jey Uso down the road. But before that, Jey Uso is going down the road to St. Louis, Missouri for NXT tonight.
I've just seen Sexy Red's on the script there, Tom, so we should do what she likes to do best, Tom. Do you want to join me?
Sexy Wendy!
Do you want to join me? Stand up.
What a Sexy Red... Oh. Is that not what Vic Reeves does?
Doing a bit of the twerking there, Tom. She kicked off last night's Raw and couldn't even help herself there. She was on the screen for like 3 seconds and she was bending over and wiggling her behind.
You do realise that, like, if you move the back part of your body, it is a twerk. If you move the front part, it is what Vic Reeves did on Shooting Stars.
Oh, right. Well, I guess that's the difference between myself and Sexy Red. It's the back part.
It is. That's the only difference between you and Sexy Red.
I'm Sexy Ross with 3 X's.
You certainly are. And Jey Uso is up to going to see Sexy Red on NXT and go and see NXT in general. So he's going to be part of the show tonight. Don't know what he's going to do. He's going to do something.
Because there was a little NXT tie over as well last night on Raw with Ethan Page turning up to see Ava, who was fallen from a great height from her once brilliant status as a brilliant general manager, she was on Raw last night going,
she'll hear you.
I don't care. Someone needs to tell her. If she wants to be president of the United States of America.
I think you're doing a brilliant job. I think you're doing a great job.
She rocked up on Raw last night and the former NXT champion's there and she's saying, well, Ethan, I'm not on the clock. Leave me alone. What sort of a general manager's that?
I'll do it. You can't. She'll be watching. She'll be watching.
Put that down.
Ava's watching. I think you're doing a brilliant job, Ava. I think you're doing a fantastic job.
Fallen from a great height.
Ross's opinions do not reflect the opinions of Cultaholic. We think you're doing a great job. Please don't tell your dirter otherwise. I think it's leading to a feud with Ethan Page and Ava rather than a feud with Ethan Page and CM Punk. Because Punk's going away. Yeah. So it's like Punk did that whole thing, was like, bye for a bit. And then bless Ethan going, hey, I've got beef with Punk. Yeah, he's just gone for ages.
Do it the other way around, shouldn't they? Really, Page calls him out and then he goes, see you later. After a little bit of business
that
anyway.
would have been such a diss. Yeah. I wanted you, Punk. Nah, I'm taking 5 months off. See you later.
I'm really tired. Anyway, elsewhere on tonight's NXT, Tony, want to alternate these little things here. North American champion Oba Femi defends against Tony D'Angelo. I'm terrified that Oba's reign's going to come to an end.
Oh, I don't like it. Fraxium facing Grayson Waller and Austin Theory for the NXT tag team titles. Just after that match, Grayson Waller getting on a flight, I believe. He's off to do PWA Coliseum back home in Australia this weekend. A little return home for him. We had his opponent, Jimmy Townsend, on Desert Island Graps the other week. You can listen to that.
And Theory will eat cake, as he did on SmackDown last week.
For
no reason whatsoever.
He loves a bit of cake.
Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill and Kalani Jordan will face the old fatal influence ladies of Fallon Henley, JC Jane and Jasmine Nix.
Appearances from the NXT champion Trick Williams, and the NXT women's champion Roxanne Perez.
That's a performance from Sexy Red where we'll all be Turking? We'll all turn Turkish.
We'll all turn Turkish. We certainly will.
We'll all be twerking at home, of course we will.
And then how will Javon Evans get RKO'd? Inquiring minds want to know. Not long to find out. It's Javon Evans versus Randall Keith, Randy Orton on NXT in his home of St. Louis, Missouri.
And a sold-out arena, no doubt. Just like it was last week. Not a single seat to be spared.
What a great job Ava, the general manager of NXT, has done. We think you're doing a fantastic job, Ava. Up the Ava. Up the Ava. Now, last night on Raw, they take next week's Raw because they are on their European tour next week. They're doing the Co-op Live in Manchester. They're doing Cardiff as well. That Co-op Live in Manchester has Solo Sikoa versus Cody Rhodes for the title in a bull rope match in the main event.
Dilly ding, dilly dong.
Dilly ding. And if you want to go to it, you can use the code Cultaholic25 and get 25% off your tickets for the Manchester show.
Is that a thing, is it?
Yes, it is.
Look at us go.
You're very welcome. So because they're in Europe next week, they taped Raw for next week. So if you don't want to know what happened on Raw and you want to enjoy it as it happens, this is the part where we say stay safe and love you, bye.
On the show, the War Raiders make their in-ring return, as has been teased with little vignettes over the last couple of weeks, to defeat Alpha Academy, who cannot buy a win, Tom.
They can't buy a win, can they? They can't even borrow a feeling.
No.
So this is the return of the War Raiders, now known as the War Raiders. So it's a return and a new old name.
Making us look like dicks, aren't they? Because we've sat here for years going, they can't use the word war on the main roster in 2024.
Spoilers, they can.
They bloody well can.
And it's the strongest of names, Viking Raiders, Viking Experience, War Raiders, boom.
And I hope they bring back those rules that they used to do so well.
Oh, the Viking rules matches.
Remember what it is? There are no
rules except these rules.
Tiffany Stratton opens the show to deliver a message to Nia Jax, interrupting Rhea Ripley in the process. Both Ripley and Tiffany Stratz were attacked by Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, leading to a tag team match later on. That match that we spoke about just there ends in a no contest when the women's champion Nia Jax interferes. Oh, what a tangled web!
It is indeed. Both the WWE Women's Champion Nia Jax and Cody Rhodes on Raw next week, respective champions from SmackDown. They're building towards Crown Jewel, where they will fight the world champions from Raw for that ugly-looking belt.
That big, dirty vajazzle.
That big, dirty vajazzle belt that they will hold up on that one show and then not reference again for 12 months.
Next week also we have Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill retain the tag team titles over Damage Control, and R-Truth defeats The Miz. My goodness, what will Karrion Kross do?
Well, he'll help Truth get beaten up further because post-match Truth throws Truth back in post-match. Karrion Kross throws Truth back into the ring, and Miz gives him another beating.
God. But Miz turned on Truth not for the final testament. He turned on him for him.
That's what he says. Dun, 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 dun. Karrion Kross, you wormy little worm.
Good evening.
Hold and give today.
Yes, 4 p.m. on the YouTube channel at Hold and Give Football on the YouTubes. I'll be doing my EAFC 2-5 career mode with Sunderland. Because that's what the people said they wanted, and I'm a people pleaser, so that's what I gave them.
See, told you punishments were back. Ross is playing Sunderland on Hold and Give on the new FC game. Patreon is recharged, renewed, redesigned, rebuilt, and reclaimed. If you want to join one of our brand spanking new tiers, it gives you WTF moments for every WWE and AEW pay-per-view. It gives us Cultaholic punishments. It gives you Cultaholic punishments, rather, and it gives you access to the video versions of the classic Raw, SmackDown, Nitro review, and video versions of Desert Island Graps as well, and a litany of other things.
And thank you if you already signed up for it, because Fraser was just telling me the numbers upstairs, and it was more than I was expecting, so thank you very much. I know times are tough, but we do appreciate it all the same.
Thank you so much for your support. We promise we will return your trust with ridiculous amounts of content. Turn your trust with Cultaholic lust. And for the latest wrestling news at any time, and to take on some brand new quizzes on the brand spanking new look site, you can check out cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.